So, should trans women compete in women's sports? I've got this little thing here to try to get a sense of people's confidence about the
Okay.
stuff. So, if all the way to the right, black is that would be absolutely sure, completely confident.
Okay.
That yes, trans women should compete in women's sports.
Okay.
And white is absolutely no, they should not.
Cool.
Where would you put yourself on that scale?
All the way to the yes.
All the way to the yes? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you show that to the camera?
Totally.
Cool. All the way to the right. Okay. And what is like the main reason why?
I feel we have a right to choose how we want to live our life. And if you identify yourself as a woman, then you should be allowed to compete in that sport.
Okay. So trans women have a right to how they live their lives, and if they identify
As a female, then you should be allowed to run in that sport.
Should be allowed to go in the sport.
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay.
And I would just like to see the world when we get to the point where we're not having to identify ourselves as gay, lesbian, this, that, or the other. I'm heterosexual. I don't walk into an environment and go, hi, I'm Turner, I'm heterosexual. I would just like to see the world like, you're Reed, I'm Turner, I'm running in the women's sports. The end.
Just getting to a society where we're all individuals.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who, like our identity groups doesn't really matter in terms of anything.
Absolutely not, because you're a human being. You
Okay.
and I bleed exactly the same way. We have feelings exactly the same way. And hey, that's how you feel. God bless you. Enjoy life. And I don't feel that there should be a sticker placed on you. We shouldn't have to say that this is a transgender woman who's running in a female race. Who cares? She identifies herself as a woman. If her name is Ashley, Amanda, or Rebecca, identify her as such. Speak about her accolades. Speak about who she is as a human being and not what she is not or what she should be or what she could be. The ifs, the whats, or whys. That disturbs me.
Okay, gotcha. Is there any objections you've heard to this?
There's lots of objections. I have a nephew, who says he loves transgenders, and he has his own philosophical way of thinking about things, and he helped to educate me a lot. But for me, I just feel that it's important to get to know the human being for who they are. Remove the label. I'm just more open-minded. I'm more optimistic. And I want to see and pray that I'm alive to be in a world where we can all treat and honor and respect each other, whether we agree or disagree. That is a choice that was made for her. And people talk about science and how God created us or different things like that. I, in my heart of hearts, don't believe God sat down and said, I'm going to make a confused human being. I'm going to provide this woman with male genitalia, but I'm going to let her feel like a woman, where she's attracted to men. And, it gets confusing. I am Christian. I believe that's the devil sticking his hand in there and messing with the pot. So just respect everyone. Allow everyone to have an open platform to be free to be who they are and love them for that.
Okay. What, like before this topic came up, like of trans women competing in sports, why were sports in general segregated by gender originally?
Sports have always been segregated, and we can go back to race relations and the whole 9 yards. It goes in that. I mean, back in the day, black people weren't allowed to do certain things, and we had to fight for our rights to be able to be a part of something. So it's two different topics, but if you talk about your right as a human being, it ebbs into that channel. And it's sad that I've got to fight. I've got to convince another human being to believe in me and to believe that I deserve a right to participate in a sport because I may have breasts or I may have a penis or whatever the case may be. I think it's wrong. I do. And it should just be a title. Just let everybody run together. If this woman is fat, there are women out here faster than men. If she chooses she wants to run, it's like girls are playing football now. And there's really not wanted there. There are girls that are kickers. It would be great to see tons of women out there kicking a football for the NFL.
Yeah, so if we just made all sports mixed gender, whoever wants
Absolutely.
competes, if we did that, would we expect for women to be equally represented in terms of
It would be nice.
prizes?
But it's going to take a long time for that
Yeah.
to maneuver itself into place.
Yeah, if we did that, say next year, and the next 10 years of competitions, would we expect women to be, like, if it was completely fair and not non-discriminatory, it's just purely up to merit of the people playing, would we expect women to be represented in the higher, in like a lot of first place type of things?
Absolutely.
We would
And there are
expect.
some women out there that can kick some guys' asses.
Uh-huh.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah. Yet, like the Olympics were mixed gender.
Yes.
Would we expect any women to be represented in like the top of physical competitions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Totally. And they would be.
They would be.
And they can stand on their own, too.
Okay. Like, for example, weightlifting is a
It's
type of sports
yes.
where if we just had that mixed gender, we would expect some women to be winning competitions over men.
Oh, yeah, and they would, too.
Okay.
Have you seen the women? Have you seen the sports? I can't think of the name, but the CrossFit. Who is that? Reebok, Nike, or somebody. There's competitions that go on. I can't remember the name of them. But have you seen those women out there? I mean, they are something to look at.
And I'm sure that's fine. They've been competing with other women. Yet there's been cases where trans women, people who were male, transitioned and then got into some competitions like weightlifting,
Yes.
and have been getting first place prizes very soon after they were doing that. If we continue to see that happening, where trans women were just sweeping all of these competitions, some people say that would be unfair if we just saw that happening. What do you think of that?
I disagree.
Disagree.
I say God bless them, because there are women who are purely female that we know of, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and they take enhancing drugs to do what they need to do to get to that place. So base that other human being on their merit for what they can do. And I say rock on, because I can't do it, and I would love to. So
If we had mixed gender sports, would you also agree we should have sports where people can take enhancing drugs? Or
no,
is that
no
is that a separate
enhancing
thing?
drugs.
No
You need to
enhancing
do it all
drugs.
natural.
All
you
natural.
need to prove it on your own merit.
So mixed,
And that's
but,
something that
yeah,
can't
all
be
natural.
taken away from you. They can't say, oh, you only won this because you were taking a sports enhancement drug. Absolutely not.
Okay.
And totally separate from someone who is taking their hormones to keep their body in check for whatever transition they're in. That's a completely different type of drug. I'm talking about the pure rock solid steroids that guys and women are taking. And it's a known fact. They've been doing it forever. The football, the baseball, the basketball, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. So I think that's our time. Thank you so much, Turner.
Oh,
It
you're
was
welcome.
very nice.
That was cool.
That was a lot of fun.
God bless you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You have a better one.
Fascinating.